Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel vs. System 2-player card game unboxing. This is for the Cosmic Powers story, Volume 5, Issue number 8, Frightful Foes. So in the previous set, we had Fractured Family, which went over Fantastic Four during Civil War, some interesting stuff there. Some new takes on the Fantastic Four, which are really cool. This one, we're going to hit some of their fiercest foes. This is actually a pretty loaded set. Because it has some very interesting mechanics and concepts in it, which would definitely be fun to get into. So let's see what it says here on the side. Second installment. Incredible return of the Frightful Foes who escaped justice with the intent of ultimately defeating the Fantastic Four. Recruit them to your team for mastering the synergy of their powers to become more formidable than the world is ready to handle. So yeah, we're going to get some very interesting stuff in this set. So let's see who some of Fantastic Four's worst enemies are. We're going to start with the main character, which is Galactus. And you're reading this, right? This is a level 3 Galactus. Who's an 8/8 with 7 health. He says, I have need of a new Herald. Galactus starts the game at level 3, but is passive unless you face up. Herald of Galactus is on your side. He can't attack or strike. This is very cool. He starts off really high, but he needs a extra card to help him with anything. But he says, I am the absence of opposites. This game, enemy main characters can't level up to level 3 or higher, and enemy supporting characters cost of 8 or higher can't appear. So he shuts down anyone bigger than him. I like this as a cool idea because we've had other things, like in the last set we had stuff where you had different ways to make your deck. This is a completely different way to like almost mess with your opponent's deck, because you could mess up their strategy. Because they can have something based on, oh, I gotta get with this level 8 character, I have to hit level 3 to do this special thing. And this just shuts it down, right? And that's actually, I think, really fun. Alright, let's hop right to the next one. This one's have a little bit more. We have God Emperor Doom, aka Dr. Doom. Prepare for the incursion. So green or yellow, draw a card. Construct Battle World. Level up 4. At the end of each enemy player's turn, you may reveal any number of cards named Beyonder, Molecule Man, or Earth in your hand. Doom gains that many XP. When Doom levels up, or the top card of his Battle World pile, and it enters that domain. So this is supposed to be like the start of the Secret Wars storyline. This is kind of, the last one had Civil War. This one we're doing Secret Wars. So yeah, we're gonna hop into a second form, and then we'll come back to what Battle World and Domain are, just so we can kind of see what the full scope of all his powers are and how they relate to it. So he has level 2, Rule of Battle World. For the rest of the game, use the Battle World game mode. When the defending main character gets wounded, the game leaves its current domain and enters the next one. A Patchwork Planet, level up 3. When the game enters a new Battle World domain, Doom gains 1 XP. This power can't be turned off. So this is going to keep shuffling these domains around. And then he actually has a level 3 as well. This world is mine. So he can play a yellow or an earth. When the game would enter a new domain, it stays in its current domain instead. This power can't be turned off. It's a restriction. Or God of Battle World. Sorry, not restriction, reaction. When the current ends, you may use the current domain. You may have the current domain lose its power until the end of the next turn. So it's kind of cool. So you can like force a domain you want to keep out, or you can shove it into a different one. Alright, so we want to look at what this all does here. The game puts in a full Battle World game mode, introduced in Crossover Volume 3, so it's like 2 years ago. If a God Emperor is your main character, you'll bring and shuffle your own Battle World pile for the game. This pile is variable. You pick 12 different Battle World domains to include, and it's private. Your opponent doesn't get to know what it is. If you're already using the Battle World game mode, the players will still need to share a Battle World pile. Like usual, however, when God Doom enters or levels up, his own personal Battle World pile replaces a shared one. So it's kind of neat. You can like shut down the rest of the game. If you have more than one player's God Emperor Doom, you'll each have your own Battle World pile. Once Doom levels up, That Doom's pile will be used for now. Once the second level is up, the game will leave the current domain and enter the domain of the top card of the second one. And if there's so on a third, fourth, etc., God Emperor Doom. If there are 2 or more Dooms with active Battle Royale piles, whenever defending character gets wounded, the current domain will go to the discard pile, and game will enter the next one going clockwise. So it's kind of neat. It's like, if you're playing with a shared pile, one player plays Doom, it replaces it eventually when he plays it. Then if you have multiple players, then you kind of switch back and forth. So you're not like, oh, he got his Doom out first and mine's completely trash. It's kind of cool. If you use this roll as mine to stay in the current domain, it happens before you get to the next domain card. Note, 2 other cards, the Grandmaster and the Beyonder, each have their own separate Battle Royale piles and have the game enter one of their domains. When this happens, any other domain will play, go to discard like normal. When the defending player gets wounded, the next game will enter the next game. The active Doom Battle Royale as described above. Norseheim, the Doom domain file did crossover issue 4, causing them to enter 2 domains at once. This will cause a patchwork planet divided. A patchwork planet will give Doom 2 HP and a Gaia Bell will be turned off the powers of both Norse and the other domain. Yeah, so that's his abilities for that. So that's kind of cool. Now, I want to jump to the end here, because we do have one Battle World domain in this set. So we're going to look at this quick. Is we have Doomstat, Battle World domain. So you get another one. So this is kind of neat, because I said the other Fantastic Four. So I like this idea of, like, here's an expansion. I have cards I can play, add new stuff. I can kind of play some of this. I can play this deck by itself if I really want to. But it really reinforces mixing with other expansions. So like, oh, if you didn't have the Battle World domain set from Crossover 3, then this Doctor Doom character is not going to be very useful to you, right? But if you did, the fact is now you have another character or possibly other cards that interact with it. That's awesome. Like here we get another Battle World domain. So this capital domain of Battle World, characters named Doctor Doom have 5/5. And this is what really makes you want to play that one card that stops you on this one. He gets this out, you probably want to drop his thing down and stop it on this one, because now he's going to be even more powerful. Doesn't mean you might not want one of the other ones. Depends on how you build your deck. But yeah, this is part of the Secret Wars storyline. There's Yggdrasil, the tree of the Norse gods. There's a giant flaming Galactus. He kind of uses as like a bodyguard. This is really neat. So I just want to bring that up because we do have that one extra domain there. You can add to all the other ones, which is really cool. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hop into our next main character, which is Kang the Conqueror. So Prime Kang, you start the game with a Kang collective pile. Again, we have a character that plays a little bit different with Swarm. Any number of characters named Kang on your side, this power can't be turned off and returned to the time stream. When Kang gets KO'd, you may put him into your resource row face down. Alright. What is his collective pile? When your Kang collective pile is fixed, it always includes Ramatut, Scarlet Centurion, and Mortis and Iron Lad. It is public. Each player can look at it, and here's how it works. So we had the Battle one where it could be any number of cards, and it could, other player couldn't know it. This one's always going to have the same number. During your build phase, where you have exactly 3 resources, 6 resources, 9 resources, and 12 resources, you may put a random card from your Kang collective into your side. You may do this once per game at each of those resource amounts. For example, in each 3, put 1 random Kang collective into your side. You do it again at 6, 12, 9, and 12. Cards in your collective are main characters, and your opponent needs to KO all the main characters in your side to be defeated. However, they still don't need to KO any cards that are still in your Kang collective pile. For example, turn 8, you have Kang, Immortus, and Iron Lad on your side. Ramatut and Scarlet Centurion are still in your Kang pile. If he KOs the other 3, you're defeated. So that's kind of cool, right? We're going to get this guy's going to have all these different extra ways to pop out other guys. We got to start with Kang to begin with. So we get, Return of Shine. When he gets KO'd, you may put him in your resource row face down. We're going to get Immortus, who's going to have Kang, Swarm, Collective, starts the game in your Kang collective pile. But we have Ruler of Limbo. At the start of your turn, list the number of cards at the top of your deck equal to the number of resources on your side. Put one into your hand, shuffle the rest into your deck. If he decides to become Iron Lad instead, he has Neurokinetic Armor, Iron Lad gauge, +1 defense for each resource on your side. This power can't be turned off. If he wants to become Ramatut, Ultra Dial Ray has +1 attack for each resource on your side. This can't be turned off. Or it can become Scarlet Centurion. Your future is doomed. At the start of your turn, each enemy player puts a number of cards from the top of their deck into their KO pile equal to the number of resources on your side. So kind of cool. They'll all depend on how your resources are. Either discarding cards from your tailing top of your opponent's deck, extra attack, extra defense. Look at the top number of your cards, and you can get one of those cards. Or he just becomes a straight up resource, right? So it's pretty cool too. So it's again neat, different third main character, unique way to build your deck. Also very interesting, very very split off side note. Is that this? You have all these different main characters, so it's kind of neat because we've had other decks that have had a bunch of main characters. This one just works a little bit differently. I wish there was some way to note that the 36912 is just a reminder, but I guess you can only put so much on there. We have another main character. We have a lot of main characters in this set. We have the Maker. Anything is possible. I'm going to zoom in on this, a little bit small text. You start the game with an invention pile, which may include frightful inventions and any other characters that your deck can create. So this is kind of cool. So you can create a ton of different inventions. At the start of your game, shuffle those inventions into your deck. This game, you can play inventions ignoring team restrictions. I'm going to solve everything. If a character on your side would create an invention, instead roll the top 5 cards of your deck, put an invention from one of them into your hand, and the rest to the bottom of your deck. And I am Reed Richards. Level up 4, you play an invention, the Maker gains 1 XP. Yeah, so this is Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe. He becomes kind of evil. And yeah, this is what he does with that. He played a kind of a decent part in the beforehand of the Battle World, or Secret World. Secret Wars, Battle World, same thing. So it can include frightful inventions, even if no character in your deck can include them. Because technically he doesn't have a thing that says start the game with an invention deck. So you can go, it's kind of cool. Even if you don't have the face-up character affiliations, character starts a game face-up. No, if you somehow have cards in your invention pile that don't say invention on them, such as the Maker supporting character in your deck, those cards will not be shuffled in your deck by anything as possible. So if he's in there, so it also says, where to start here? First turn of the game, anything is possible, shuffle inventions into your deck. Anything is possible allows you to play inventions with a team affiliation, even if you don't have a face-up character with that affiliation. This effect starts this game, which means you'll last the whole game, even if Maker is face down or lost his power somehow. So you gotta use it the entire time, but you still have to have somebody that can create an invention to be able to do it. So let's level him up to level 2. It says, I'm going to solve everything. If a character on your side would create an invention, instead of real the top 5. And the ultimate Reed Richards. When you play an invention card, draw a card. So it's interesting that it has the stuff that interacts with inventions, yet he does not himself have a way to create an invention. Alright, our last main character for this set is going to be Molecule Man, who is also very important in creating the battle world for Secret Wars. Energy Source, the first time each supporting character on your side would pay 1 or more blue. Each turn, you may pay 1 less. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And Power Conduit. Whenever another character on your side pays 1 less for a blue, energies from energy source. While command gains 1 XP. So he's going to be really happy if people want to play that energy symbol. And then, same thing for answers. Animate, building, build, play 2 blue, animate your deck, and reconstitute matter, build, shuffle your KO into your deck. Again, we have a lot more rules for all these. To animate your deck, do the following. Put your deck into your front or back row. This counts as it appearing and is now a supporting character name. Animated building with the attacks and defense, each equal to the amount of cards in it and 1 health. It is massive. It attacks entire rows instead of characters. It strikes with its full attack against each defender in the row, and defender strikes with it. Defenders strike with their total attack. Monstrous. When defending character melee team attacks, it strikes with its full attack against each attacker. Like normal supporting characters, it can be ready, exhausted, stunned, hidden, have counters, gain and lose powers. When it gets stunned, turn it over. Everyone will see your bottom card. If you need to draw a card while your deck is turned over, you still draw from the top, which is the card touching the table. If your deck gets KO, put all of its cards in your KO pile. If an effect would cause it to leave play, or be put into your resource row, KO it instead. Very interesting because it creates a huge, giant character. But yeah, it's also going to be like it has 1 health, so it's going to be able to basically destroy anything and probably defend anything. If it's like you have 20 cards in your deck, it's a 20-20. It's probably not going to get defeated, but if somehow enough characters can defeat it, then you lose your deck. Well, its animate still counts as your deck, even if it somehow gets moved to another player's side. For example, you'll draw cards from it, so every time you draw a card every turn, it's going to get smaller and smaller and weaker. Reconstitute matter will shuffle your KO pile into it. If your deck has no cards, it ceases to exist and will no longer be animated, even if it somehow had 1/1 counters. However, you can reconstitute matter to make a whole new deck, and then you can animate that deck. If your deck is already animated, using animate building won't do it again. So that's kind of neat. So it's like, so if you create 1 building and you shuffle your KO into your deck, it doesn't now create a second deck for you to use. It shuffles it back into that other guy. So you could start with like, oh, I have half my deck and I have 10 cards left, right? You could reconstitute the matter, shuffle it in there, and make that a big giant guy. So that's pretty fun. Alright, let's hop into our supporting characters. So we have 1 copy of Cynthia Von Doom. I love these cards, these supporting characters. They're like the allies of the heroes, so there's like 1 of them, but they're specifically trying to help like 1 character. So that's their whole entire point. You play 1 of them, they're there to help out that character, and that's all they're going to do. So Doom's mom here, Mother of Doom, you may start the main phase, put a 1/1 counter on character named Dr. Doom on your side, and that's all it does. Alright, so from now on we'll have 4 copies of each, unless otherwise stated. We have Sheathing, temporary insanity. When Sheathing gets stunned, if she's a Frightful, she'll recover for the rest of the game. She loses Frightful and gains Fantastic Four. So it's kind of a neat little combo, right? Because she starts off as a bad guy, but then she can gain the Fantastic Four. So she won't be able to help her team out, but if you're also playing with Fantastic Four characters and mixing these together, it kind of works with both sides then. Here we have Quiet Man, the creator of Eden. When Quiet Man appears, when you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you may reveal a special location from among them, put them into your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck. Nice. Did you find the locations helpful all the time? We have Paste Pot Pete. I love this guy. AKA the Trapster. There's one of the decks what he used to be called. Sticky situation. When Paste Pot Pete strikes an exhausted defender, it can't ready on its next turn. Cool. We have Valeria Richards. So she has Frightfully Smart. When Valeria appears, draw a card and choose an enemy player to discard a random card. So that's really neat. The different version of her. We then have the Brute. Brutish Intelligent. The Brute has +1/+1 for each card in your hand. This power can't be turned off. So that's kind of neat. He's a 5 cost, normally at 0. So as long as you have more cards, he's really strong. But if you play them all, and he just goes away. Our last supporting character is Dr. Doom. This is neat. He has the Guardians of the Galaxy trait. I love the crossover there. Doom of the Galaxy. When Dr. Doom appears, you may search your deck for a space location, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Now, there are no space locations in this set. There is some in the... Oh, sorry, there are some in this set. There's some in this set. There's some that also refer to Earth, which are in the previous set, which I did say in that, the Fractured Family. For that, they only appeared, I think, in the Giant Monsters Unleashed box, and then the Alien and Predator sets. So if you didn't buy any of them, it's hard to come across the Earth and space locations. So this is really nice that they included them in these decks so you can get them a little bit more easy. So just a quick look at that. So this is going to be that symbol for space. So you get 4 of those. So those are kind of very helpful to have copies of those. They're just basic locations like any of the other colors. So yeah, when it appears, you may search your deck for a space, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Mind Transfer. When Dr. Doom appears, you may move him next to an enemy supporting character. If you do, move that character to your side and ready it. Interesting. So yeah, just also to point out here, since we're talking about that, we did have this Doom. He had the yellow or green, and then he had the Earth symbol. So the Earth was found in the previous Fantastic Four set. This one helps him find space. Very cool. Alright, then we have some plot twists. We have Frightful. So there's 4 Frightful icons in the top corner. Which means you have to have 4 Frightful characters out ready to go. There we have the Wizard, Trapster, Sandman, and Medusa. So I like that the previous Frightful set had more of the regular Frightful 4 characters of this group. This one kind of goes a different route. There's the Battle World route, but we're still paying at least good homage to these guys by giving them this. Put 4 -1/-1 counters on a character. And this is like the opposite of the Fantastic Four one, which, had 4 Fantastic Four symbols and then that. But this also makes it hard to play in just any deck. Cool. So we do have some inventions in this set to go with our Maker. We have 3 copies of the Big Bang Canyon. So we're going to have 3 because it says invention 3, so it's all the more you can ever have. Hidden defenses. While a character on your side is defending, anytime you could take an action in combat, you may put this from your hand onto that character's row. Singularity Disruptor. Enemy characters have -1/-1 while attacking a character in this row. That's kind of cool. You can just go ahead and throw this out and it makes all their characters weaker. We have 1 copy of Afterlife Transporters. This would be Fantastic Four or Frightful. Bring back to life. During your build phase, you may exhaust a ready main character on your side. If you do, put a Fantastic Four or Frightful supporting character from your KO pile into your hand. Again, it's really cool. Also bridges the gap between the 2 teams. You have Doom, and like probably the Maker and some other characters like that can use it because of the Frightful, and then Reed and probably some other characters that can use it because of the Fantastic Four symbol. So that's really cool. You get the combo between those 2. Like, I love when enemy teams kind of get that crossover because it kind of shows sometimes you're more alike than you realize. All right, we have 4 cards left. The first one we have, or the last 3 are 3 of these are boss battles. So boss battles were another one introducing a thing, so you can play them against somebody else. Before we get into what they do, let's see this. This issue has 3 new bosses: Doom, Galactus, and King, where 1 boss player fights a team of 2 other players. Except 1 player chooses a boss character and a main character with that name. For example, if you choose Dr. Doom, you can play as Dr. Doom from the Fantastic Four battles, or Emperor God Doom from this issue. The other 2 players choose any main characters other than with the same name as the boss. Everyone builds their deck normally. Rules for the boss battle use the free-for-all game rules. The boss goes first, and then the players proceed clockwise. No player skips drawing their first phase. When a basic location appears on the boss side, you get a related effect from its power symbol, as instructed on the boss battle card. When a rainbow location that shares a team with the boss battle appears, they get the related effect. Note, this is an update to previous rules. So yeah, this is kind of cool. So it lets you play a 2-on-1 game, but it gives the one single player a little better advantage. So Dr. Doom is going to have, where is it? Play a blue, he's going to get his genius. Energy. Now die. When the main character the most remaining health, you settle ties. You play the genius, which is yellow. The vast will shall be done. My vast will shall be done. Dr. Doom creates an invention, so that's kind of cool. Just to actually create some inventions off of that. Strength, the world is mine to rule. Turn the enemy location on each side face down. Turn one of your space up. Combat, which is red, grovel at my feet. Remove all enemy characters in their front row and exhaust them. And if he plays an earth icon, I found being God beneath me. Choose an enemy player and draw cards until they have as many in their hand as they do, +1. If you play a multi-location, says boss, puts 3 1/1 counters on Dr. Doom or a Doombot. So that's pretty cool. Then we have Galactus here. So you play blue, it has Cosmic Appetite. Search your deck for a basic location, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Yellow, no living thing ignores my call. Draw a card, then another card for each Herald of Galactus on your side. Ravage Worlds. Each enemy player discards a location. Each player who doesn't have one in your hand reveals their hand and discards a random card. Red, I Hunger. Put 1/1 counters on Galactus equal to the number of all locations in all KO piles. If you play a space, your planet is forfeit, KO an enemy location, and multi or special. Wound each enemy supporting character until it has 1 remaining health. And if we fight against Kang, Lost in Time, for blue, you may put an enemy supporting character on any number of sides into the owner's resource row. Yellow, Conqueror the Conqueror. You may put a card from your hand face down into your resource row. Its location, place it face up instead. This could trigger one of these abilities again. That's cool. Green, all of history is my weapon. Put a 1/1 counter on a main character on your side, equal to the number of resources you have. Red, time will tell. Draw cards and you have as many cards in your hand as resources on your side. And special location. Choose one of the effects above once per game. Take another turn after this one. So that's really cool. These have been in a couple of different sets now. I think they're also introduced in one of the crossover sets. And then, yeah, they keep... they keep adding them here and there. I know we had one for a Spider-Man set, for like Carnage and stuff. It's a really neat way to, like, hey, here you want to play this extra little different mode. Here's a cool way to do it. Plus, when they keep making multiple versions of the main characters, it makes it more fun. To be fair, though, I think almost every boss now has been a bad guy or a villain character. I really hope they start making some with hero characters, because it'd be fun to be like, right, like obviously it'd be fun to play like, oh, I can play like a Red Skull main character, and you know, someone else could play like Magneto or something, right? You know, just top of my head against like Xavier, right? That'd be kind of a fun little mix. Or against Doctor Strange or Captain America or Iron Man, like, because you know that's villains teaming up against a hero, right? That'd be kind of a fun little mechanic as well. So hopefully they go include that in the future. Alright, then the last card we have is a reprint from the Fantastic Four original set. It's a Machine Invention 1. Make things right. When this machine appears, choose 1 for it to gain. You may pay 1 less to recruit a supporting character to a minimum of 1, or supporting character on the side have +2/+2. So that's kind of cool. If you didn't have this previous set, now you have an extra card. Otherwise, what it says here is it just says, Machine was one of the original inventions of the Fantastic Four battles. Over time, it's proven to be too powerful, So that version will be banned and replaced with a version found in this issue. So I don't know off the top of my head what they changed with it. I'm not going to go pull that out of my set for just this video. But yes, if you have the previous one, you're playing tournaments or anything like that, you have to use this updated one. It is kind of a downside, because that means if you do play... it's a minor downside. If you play in tournaments and stuff, you have to follow their strict lists of what you can use. So every time they make reprint cards, you have to go and get that card. So you have to buy this set if you were using this card before, if you want to keep using it with its new stats. Which you might not. It might have changed enough that you might decide not to use it. But to be fair, though, if you're probably using this with the inventions, you're probably playing a Fantastic Four or a Doctor Doom deck anyhow. So the other cards in this set would probably be very helpful for that. I mean, there are other characters that do inventions, such as Forge and some other characters, I'm sure, as well. Off the top of my head, can't think of any. But yeah, that's what we have for this set. That's... adds some really fun deck building with the Doctor Doom and his Battle World stuff. Although, again, you need another set to be able to use that. Molecule Man animating decks. Kang's multiple things. The Maker using inventions. Galactus starting at level 3. Surprised there wasn't at least one Herald in this set, though, to go with that. But it really makes it so... It's a fun expansion. You can probably play most of this by itself. But more of this deck is kind of like is updating or making the other sets better. Like, right, there's no Heralds, so you can't really play Galactus. There's not enough locations to really use the Battle World. There's not enough inventions to use the Maker. So you really get stuck playing Kang or Molecule Man if you want to use the rest of these. But there's probably not enough cards in this overall to make a full deck. But that's not entirely the purpose of these. They're not just to be able to crack these open and just play these. They're also meant to expand the other sets. That's why they're expansions. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Some really cool things in there. One more for the Cosmic Power block. So we'll see if that adds some more to this, adds some more to the other one, does its own thing. See you guys then. Bye.